Okay. Hi y'all, I'm Rio. Welcome back to another episode of Coloring Passports. Today we're working in the Everglades book. Ooh, it's brand new. And we are moving on to the Lubber Grasshopper. Can't say that I've ever in my life colored a grasshopper. So today is going to be the day. Today is going to be the first day that we get that done. So let's get right into it. Let's grab some yellows here. I'm gonna grab, if you've got the kit from the website, I'm gonna grab yellow number 12. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna color all of it. Making teeny tiny little baby circles. Nothing crazy. Let's go ahead and get the antenna yellow. His face is yellow. Get his legs. His underbelly. Just coloring all of it. The line work in this illustration is really nice. So this should go pretty quickly for all of us. Gonna color in all of these areas here. There's like bends right here. This one's super shadowed, so we're gonna have to do a lot of work on that one to get it to do what we want it to do. So right now we have successfully colored. Let me look at the illustration really closely here. So this is a leg right here. That's a leg, and that leg comes to right there. Okay. Now, you don't have to color as dark as I have. I wanted you to be able to see it on camera. Plus, I feel like that'll cut down on some extra illustration time later in the process. Wowzers! I just sharpened that pencil and it's broken already. I pushed too hard. Don't push so hard. Okay, so right now we have a giant yellow grasshopper. That's awesome. I'm gonna put that pencil down. I'm gonna leave it out of the package because I know I'm gonna come back to it again. Next color I'm gonna grab is the Vietnamese orange, number 7. Gonna come up here on his back and start going over some of this yellow. The reference photo is right in front of you. So it should be a pretty easy transition. I'm gonna do his antenna first. The lines are there. Look at your illustration. It's got yellow at the top of each one of those little lines. So I'm starting at the bottom of the line, and as I work my way up, I'm leaving some of that yellow showing. And right now I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna shadow this side of it. On his legs, over here on his face. This is definitely, and we'll come back in with some paint pens later and add some more color, but it's kind of super dark right here, and we'll come back in with a little bit darker color. That, let's see, we've got this part right here, not quite as dark, but this part on the back of his head. Just doing teeny tiny little baby circles up here. There's a streak of yellow right down the center. This part is dark. And then he's got these cheekbones here on his exoskeleton. This leg is quite orange. It's got some other colors in it too that we'll add later. So I'm not coloring the entirety of it, but I am going to make it darker. There's like right here, got orange. We're leaving a little bit of yellow showing through right there. But my goodness, we've got a lot of orange in this, and it's darker on the side. And then we're gonna come back in with some blacks and things of that nature to get that really cohesive together. But for right now, we're just using the same orange color. And we're just getting in here with it. And then we'll come back and we'll shape it up with some other stuff. Orange legs. Has little feet. We're coloring the whole thing orange right now. We'll come back in with some other colors in a minute. But see how he's shaping up? He's already starting to come to life. 2 colors down, already coming to life. Going right over the top of that yellow. Just letting that shine through. Back here on all of his little areas. Okay, back leg. Orange fading into yellow. These guys are really cool. You know, prior to this, I would have never really considered a grasshopper as part of a piece of artwork, but this is cool. I am glad we're doing this. This part's going to be super shadowed, so we're just going to lay this in and kind of ignore it for a minute. This has highlights on it. His little legs kind of look like tiny crab legs, really. Okay, we've got more back here. And this whole area right here is super colored. that color's done for. We're done with it. So we've used the yellow and the Vietnamese orange. We've used number 7 and number 12. I'm gonna leave those lie. Okay. Wow, that didn't sharpen well. All right, here we go. Grab some of the number 46 wine red. We're getting right into this. I'm going to start going over the areas that are supposed to be black. And I'm going to fade some of that out into the orange, because some of this orange is a lot darker. We're going to do that by adding some of this red. There's other oranges that we can use, and we're going to pick those up too, but I'm just adding some shadowing right now. Keep in mind your reference photo is right above you. If you get stuck, if you feel like you're not sure, just look at the photograph. Just isolate the area that you're working on and take your time. Remember, this is practice, not perfection. And this is the first time I've ever colored a grasshopper too, so I'm having to really pay attention to all of his little jointy parts. I can't even give you the scientific name for his entire body right now. I'll have to look it up to talk about his thorax and all of those things. But here's what I know. He is gonna be super cool when we're done. Gonna add a little bit of color there. There's a little bit of color up here. There's a little bit, there's color back here. The same red, I can see it back here on his back. Can see it right back here on this. There's a shadow right there. I'm not sure what it's from yet, but it's there. This is all black. I'm going in with this red wine, this wine red first. This is also going to be black. Again, going in with the red wine first. This whole area here is super dark. So red wine first. Red wine just on the edges of this back piece here. Red wine on the inside of his leg in the back here. Red wine in the where his elbow joint is. Red wine up on this top part. Elbow joint, dark. This elbow joint right here is dark. These areas here on his back part of his body are dark. Let's get those colored in with this red wine. Be careful not to go outside of those areas to start with, because we are gonna have to come back in with some other colors. Gonna need to be able to see over the top of those. So his little feet are black, these are black, the joint is black, his foot has lots of So we've got this for his face, we've got this, we've got this, and that's black, and then we want to come in here and really kind of accentuate what we've got going on here. With that antenna, and then this antenna feels like it's really dark to me. We're gonna add some orange to it, but it's really got a lot of dark going on there. Gonna outline some of this. And again, you know, we're not going for perfection with this. We're just trying to get him to look like as close to the photograph, you know, within reason as we can. Like this needs a little more love over here. He's pretty cool, right? Okay, so we've used 3 colors now. I'm going to set that one down. I'm going to grab green grass, number 36. Give it a quick sharpen. This is the tree branch here. These are the pine needles. And so in between those pine needles, we have the illusion of more pine needles that are underneath, but it's really dark. So the beauty of the way this is set up is that this is a naturally complementing photograph. The grasshopper is on the exact color green that would be complementary across the color wheel from that red orange. So these are going to work off of each other and really help this painting pop out. I'm going to come in here, we've laid our base color down. We're just going to start shadowing in. So back here, this is a drop shadow and just in the background. And so we're going to make it dark, and then we're going to come back and make it even darker. This is going to be super dark. We're going to come in here with this area. And this area. This is also super dark. I'm using my fingernail going right along the edge of that line so that the pencil doesn't go outside the space. It doesn't really matter because I can always come back. Now what I'm doing is I'm starting to add the illusion of more pine needles here. So I'm coloring in different directions. Most of this right there is super dark. See how that's looking already? It's so cute. It's just gonna be so much fun. Really and truly so much fun. Okay. Got dark here, dark here. This is gonna be all dark. You know, I almost feel like I'm gonna grab one of the paint pens and lay some of that in. I'm gonna put this pencil down. I'm pulling some pens here from the set. I'm gonna use 792. You can still use your colored pencils to get these darker. I'm gonna come in here and start adding some of this because I need this to go a little faster. That way you guys don't have to watch hours and hours of footage of me trying to darken this background up. And these are just the acrylic paint pens. So obviously I don't want the entire background that we've started coloring in to be super, super dark because we want the illusion of all these little pine needles in the background. So I'm gonna go up against the places that I know are really deeply dark. I love these markers so much. These acrylic paint pens are such a game changer all the way around. Okay. Behind him here, we've got some here, got some here. This whole area right here is pretty dark. You can't use regular markers. You cannot use alcohol markers in these books, but you can use the acrylic paint markers. They do really, really well. Okay, there's that one. I'm gonna go a little bit darker here. Well, that one's more of a dark olive green, so it's got more yellow. This one's a dark green, it's got more blue in it. You can't really blend with these. You just lay the color right next to the other color that's down. It's kind of the trick with these. It's pretty cool though. I really like them. Those two are down. Let's see here. I've never used these colors before, so this is the first time on this, so they might not be perfect right out of the gate, but we're gonna get them. pine needles. And if I get some on him, it's okay. If I accidentally cover up a little bit of one of his legs, it's okay. I'll come back in and fix that later. And I still have to get in there and get the tree branch part handled. There's going to be some darker colors that have to come out with this. And I want it to break the plane here. I'm going to color over these lines that I've drawn. That's so cool. Need a little bit darker green here. Let's try this one. That's not the color. That one's a little too blue. Green. Put a little bit of that back here, but that's not really, it's not the color we're going for. I'm going to put that one back and say no to it. Let's try this one. That's better. A little bit better. Not 100%, but a little bit better. I'm also going to use this color for a little bit of the tree. Doesn't have enough highlight on it. I'm going to keep working around in these greens until we find the right color. There we are. That's it. And it might just be because it's on top of some of these other pieces. I'll have to come in here and darken some of this up, obviously, because you've got to have the dark in order to show that light. Is this one going to read like light? Let's see. Oh, look at that. There we go. Loving that. Haha. So cool. It's good. It's really good. That's not quite the color we want. Okay, these back here aren't gonna be as intense, so we've got to pick a little bit different color for the light. Look at that. I'm pretty happy with the way that's looking. Okay, we're gonna give those a break for just a minute and go back to the colored pencils. Well, that's not true. I wanna fill in all this dark here. I just wanna get rid of all that. Anything that's still showing through as white. I need to fill in here. So those need to be darker up here, but not this dark. Probably like this. Oh, that's not the dark I'm looking for either. Although that is in there a little bit. I'm cool with that. But yeah, that's not the color either. It's probably like this dark here. Yep, there we go. That's a little better. And then I'll come back in with the colored pencils over the top of some of this and just rework it a little bit. Making reference, constantly going back to look at my reference photo for this to make sure that I'm, you know, getting done what needs to get done here. Look at that. I like it. I like it. Okay, that's good. It's good. It's very good. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of some blue gray. I'm gonna come in here. We're gonna do some of this, some of the trunk of this is the tree branch. This is a pretty intense close-up of the tree branch itself. And we don't really want to get too crazy with it because, again, this is just practice. So come in and fill this in here. So got this. You can do this with your colored pencils as well. You don't have to use paint markers to do this. so that was 603. Grab 600. This is pure white here, right on top of what we've just done. So you can use the exact same tactics with your colored pencils. I'm gonna go back to that red wine. Gonna come in. The beautiful thing about the colored pencils is that they work really, really well right on top of the paint pens. In fact, the paint pens sort of intensify them a little bit, which is just incredible in my opinion. Okay, I need the black. We don't typically use the black, but we're going to on this guy. So I'm gonna come in with the black and I'm just gonna start putting in the darkest shadows over here with the black pencil first, so that we're not covering everything up. We want some of that red that we put on from the wine red to still show through. The eyeball has pretty much already been done for us, but there is a shadow coming off of his eye here that I'm going to put in with this black. There's a shadow coming off of his antenna right here. This is really darker here. His little feet are definitely a lot darker here. Come up here and go around this knuckle. Shadow this part, shadowing all of this part. Not black, just shadowed. So we're just barely going over these areas with the black here. And I typically don't use the black, but in this case, for this particular piece, I think it's the best color to use to get the intensity that we're looking for here. So that part's heavily shadowed. This is super heavily shadowed. This part we'll probably end up using a, I'll probably end up using a paint pen on these right here. This part back here, heavily shadowed. Don't press so hard that you break your pencil though, your pencil lead, because then that'll push through the illustration on the other side. The ink on it will kind of push into the other illustration. We don't want that. I'm going to shadow this area right here where we've used the wine red prior. Let's see, we've got a shadow right here for this. We're going to come in here with some other colors on this part. But this guy is shaping up to be super cool. He's got this. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just got to get it done. all of this right in here is super dark. Just take your time, figure out what parts you're coloring before you go all in. Because some of this has light on it and some of it is pretty shadowed. Gonna shadow this part of his leg. This leg is definitely dark. We are barely seeing this leg. It's underneath him. This right here is definitely pretty black. This part right here is gray. This part right here is definitely highly shadowed. This part of his body is under the wings. It's shadowed. It also needs a red in it. So we're just gonna go over it like this first. And then we're going to come back. Going to come in here with some of the black pencil right over the top of some of that green. You could have done all of this with your colored pencils. It's not a big deal. Notice I'm not coloring all of it again, just some of it. I'm just laying in the illusion of some of these colors. How's that looking? Well, I think it's looking pretty good. Not too shabby for the very first time I've ever colored a grasshopper. Let's grab vermilion. Love this color. Love this color so much. I'm gonna start adding some of that vermilion up here. Teeny tiny baby circles. It's gonna make some of that red, orange pop on this guy. Gonna add some vermilion to this side of his. There we go. His antenna, a little bit of vermilion up here around all of this, a little bit of vermilion right there. Again, just trying to get some more color, some more intense color on this guy, really. Then I'm gonna definitely come in with the paint markers here in just a minute. This all needs some of the red. I can see that in there. It's like definitely needing some red. This for sure needs some of the red. Look at that. That looks so good. A little bit of it right there, a little bit of it back here. Not going for perfection, just going for getting it done. A little bit of it here on the back side. A little bit here. That leg that no one's really looking at. He's looking really good. What do you think, y'all? Oh yeah, I think that's nice. Okay, let's see. We add some of the yellow back in. A little bit different, but that's okay. So we've got, it's gonna add some little dots of the yellow here and here. A little bit of yellow there, there. And there, it's got a little bit of yellow here. Let's see about this being a yellow here for this. Oh yeah, that's a good one. I'm really just about done because this doesn't need to be crazy detailed. It just needs to be done. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time making him so realistic that you feel like he can jump off the page. I think we've already done a pretty good job of representing the species. So we're gonna do just a little bit more here and then we're gonna call it. Just tapping, hitting it with my finger. Got a little bit more orange right here. This one's not flowing. Not yet anyway. What are we doing here? There we go. It's flowing now, kind of. It's not doing the greatest job, but it is kind of, it's trying. It's trying to flow. Okay, well, we're gonna sit this one upside down for a minute. And we're gonna grab this. Oh yeah, that one's juicy. Okay, now I want the black. Crazy, I know, but I don't think this is black. I think this is just a dark color. But let's get in here and let's add some darker color to this. And just tap, 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 tap. We don't want the whole thing to be dark, so it'll give the illusion of more depth. And again, you can do this with your colored pencils. You don't have to have the markers. It just takes a little bit longer. So just double down on your darker colored pencils. Can add some more dots if you want, because I didn't put all the dots on him. Add some crazy shadows there. I'm going to touch that so it's not as strong. Oh yeah, that's definitely a blue. It reads like black, but it's definitely a blue. And some of these I just want to be a little bit stronger shadow, so you know, I'm kind of really going after it. A little bit of that. I could seriously keep going, but I think we should just not and just let it go. I think we should call it. Let's see here. Add a little bit more white right here. I'm gonna add some white here. A little more highlight, a little highlight on his eyeball, a little bit of highlight here, a bit there, a little bit of highlight right in the center of this, little bit of highlight right on the edge of that, highlights here, here, here. Little bit of highlight here and here. You can kind of smear that a little bit. Again, a little bit of highlight here and here. Gonna smear that. Little bit of highlight here and here. That looks like it's pretty well lit up. Little bit of highlight right on the edge of this wing. These guys don't fly very well, but they've got these teeny tiny little wings and they got this big old body. But I'm telling you, they can wreck a whole field of anything in no time. Okay, that's it for the Lubber Grasshopper. Thanks for joining me in the studio. I'm Rio, and I'll see you on the next page.